Evening, BroadCoven. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in with me. We have a really interesting download coming in for the reality tunnel this week. Let me tell you, so many threads of synchronicity, and it is a bit of that carryover energy from the damselfly, which is very similar to the same energy as dragonfly medicine, a little bit of that illusory quality, dream weaving energy, dream weaver. The way that our dreams can become reality, and sometimes we wonder if we're sleeping or are we awake. There's something about this coming in this week, that differentiation point. Are you sure you know which one is the dream and which is reality? Okay, kind of an interesting perspective there, interesting way to drop into this energy. We did have a big old fat spider there with that damselfly, which echoes this sort of weaving kind of message coming through. And it makes me think of the cosmic web of creation and the way that is reflected in the microcosm of our day-to-day lives and our experiences here in 3D realm and what we see manifest in our reality. We know that things are manifesting all the time. It's very important for us to mind our thoughts at this time, mind our focus, our intention, because things are coming into being all around us, even though we can't see it. And it was interesting because I heard Freya's whip in my mind, and Freya's whip. I was like, wait a minute, and then I saw this image in my meditation today as I was diving into the collective energy of Freya in her chariot drawn by cats, and she came in and she brought in different runes. So I want to share those runes with you, but I feel like these runes are a key to what's coming up ahead. They are keys that unlock that crossroads position, right? And it gets things moving forward in a really big, bold way. And I'm going to share the different keys that are coming in the form of the runes, and you'll all relate to them in your own individual ways. But I also want to bring in this quality here of the cats that draw Freya's chariot forward. Cats are about secrecy. They are about things that are hidden, getting hidden knowledge into certain areas that maybe you wouldn't normally be able to gain access to. It's like you're being given a free pass in some regards, but it's more to put you to a test of character. This is the way that energy is coming in. A little bit of Loki on the scene. I have to say that trickster energy is still front and center. And I do got this message that the Norns are at it again. So they're taking their position. I see them taking their position at the roots of that Yggdrasil tree. And of course, they're always busy weaving fates into being. But there's something here about you're really being watched at this time. You're being put to the test, a test of your mettle, a test of the lessons that you've learned on the path of the alchemist. Have you truly refined? Are you ready to strike gold? Or are you going to stay weighed down by the lead of the heaviness you're still carrying around with you that you're not ready to transform? All right, this is another checkpoint energy. So the first rune that I saw Freya bring in was Othala, which is heirloom energy. It's more the ancestral energy coming in. It's your heritage. It's the land of your birth. And so this piece continues to be echoed that it's very essential at this time to understand your roots. Where do you come from? What are you here to do? How are you meant to activate the purpose that was the purpose that your ancestors set in motion before you at this time? There's something from the past that is being rooted in the present that will continue to extend roots into the future for future generations. This energy really coming through, that heirloom energy. The next rune she brought in was Ingvar, and Ingvar is related to the Norse god Ing, which before Christianity came onto the scene, Ing was considered being responsible for all that was fertile, all that grew. He was a god of fertility and agriculture. Okay, so this is about moving into that pentacles energy collectively. We're getting to that point where we're going to see, do we end up with that Ace of Pentacles, this seed to grow for our future. All right, so this is coming through. It's also about male fertility. It's about gestation. You know, we plant the seed, but it takes time for the seed to grow and to grow into the abundance we hope to see. And where do we plant that seed? Within. When we're looking at Ingvar, it's all about the internal growth. Okay. Then she brought in Lagus, which is the power of intuition. It is the powers of water. It is that scrying energy. It's also the power of renewal, dreams and fantasies, glamour. It's the Neptunian energy that's front and center. It also really represents the feminine receptivity, the ability to receive what wants to come in for us. And this is also coming through as messages that want to come through for you at this time, collective. It's blessings too. But understand that even as you are receiving, you are transmitting. And I'm seeing again those three fates, the Norns, weaving the destiny into being through weaving the fates. Because you see, you're handed your fate, but there's a certain gift that's already inherent in your fate. And a lot of people miss this piece. It's like, they're there, they're weaving your fate. They're giving you a challenge. They're giving you something that will give you the ability to step into this heirloom energy, give you the ability to step into this Ace of Pentacles that promises to have very far-reaching effect, like legacy energy. The power to activate renewal in your life and in your dreams, to see it rooted in your material reality. And this is also promising the next rune she brought in, which was Dagas, which is dawn, breakthrough, and awakening. It's the opportunity to start down a new path. It is the opening of the road. It is passing through the gateway of initiation. This coming in very, very strongly. So, you know, it's interesting to me because with all this energy for renewal on offer, the test has to be, you know, fitting of one who is ready to actually step into that. So within the fate, within the challenge, is already the seed of the gift. And this is what's being woven into being right now. So don't just be mindful of the challenges you face and what actions you need to take in order to rise to that challenge, but also be mindful of what is this dream? What is the dream that you're being called to bring into being at this time? Really interesting energy. This weaving energy was further emphasized with a particular plant ally that came in, which was comfrey. And I found it fascinating because I know that comfrey has like this bone knitting effect. It has this ability to weave things back together again. It has like a binding kind of quality, which also brought in the piece about these are sort of like runes are binding runes. They bring in certain energies, and it's like these are the energies that the collective is being bound into right now. Are they able to step into this energy? Are they able to navigate the waters of Lagos? Are they able to accept the way that the fate has been cast in order to step into this potential, this new dawn, this breakthrough, the gate opening before them, right? And so we're actively one of those threads that's being woven within that fate. It's a very visceral aspect that moves through us. You know, it's not just something that's sort of, it's not just something that's like metaphorical. It's very actual. Our very lives are like a thread that weaves through that fate. And it's all about the choices we make at any given juncture. So it's interesting when we think of comfrey and the way that we are part of that and the way we weave within our faith. I was fascinated. I didn't know this about comfrey before, but I came to learn that comfrey is associated with the Norns. So it was just beautiful the way that the message was weaving together, and the way we are actually being given an opportunity to step into this heirloom quality right now and activate the weaving of the dream of our ancestors through us. And it's something that carries us forward. It's not a minor initiation here. Okay, what do we got on the bottom of the deck? Yes, Eight of Pentacles. This is the work at hand. You'll be provided with the knowledge and the talent you need to bring this into being. Right now, it's just about, are you willing to pass through that ticker tape to get to the other side? All right. So this is like the home stretch. You know, it's like after you've been running a marathon for a long time and you're wondering when you're about to get the breakthrough. Here comes the breakthrough with the sun right here, bringing a restoration of life. You're just about there, but there's like one final test before this is truly woven into place, you know, before you are actually, how can we say this? Another way to think of it is being like handfasted to your destiny, actually unlocking, becoming active in your life. There's protection here too from anything that will oppose you along the way. You're in a very strong position. Leo energy coming in there. And right after that, the Fool. Do you see? It's the opening of the road. Aries energy moving up to the North Node, activating the destiny. But there's still this one test to pass before this is woven into your storyline for you to carry forward here. Okay, let's see. Aquarius energy here too. It says assist with difficult and great undertakings. So we know, you know, no test is easy. There is something here where it's sort of like a review point. Have you really learned the lessons? Do you remember everything that was passed down to you through the experiences you've been through? And all those times when you said, if I had to do it all again, I would do this. Are you still ready to do those things you said you would do? Because I feel like this is like an opportunity that's coming through here. With the Fool, it can lead to a true restoration of life and also protection from those who oppose you. But there's something about, are you aware of the places within you that you oppose yourself or your grander visions? Okay, so this might be who you're facing off with, an aspect of yourself that only appears to come from outside of you. Yes, this is the opportunity that's coming in. And again, there is protection here. You are watched over as you pass through this initiatory gateway with death here. Scorpio energy on the scene. This is a time of endings and rebirth. And what you step into at this checkpoint, it's going to be with you for a long time to come. And that really can go either way when we're looking at the Norns. So it is about, have you learned what you were here to learn before you step forward into this? You know, there's this piece about wanting to offer comfort to those who still have things that they need to balance out. There's also the ability to bring about reunion where maybe there may be some fear that there is no way to get reunited with the correct path, okay? Some may have felt like they took a wrong turn. They may feel like they're kind of being punished right now. I can see this energy. And maybe asking for a reprieve. You know, this is an opportunity for course correction for those who feel maybe they took a wrong turn back there that led them to some dire straits and difficult circumstances, okay? We always have the ability to weave our path anew. So if there's any kind of perception of this, like, I think I took a side quest there and I ended up in no man's land, and I realized I need to get back on the correct path. I need to course correct here. There is this opportunity to do it, but it is through a particular test. I would say in that case, the test would probably be something more along the lines of a real intense temptation, you know, a real intense temptation. Okay, so the energies coming in association with this are the water sign energies, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and we have Temperance, that's Sagittarian energy there. We got Leo energy, and of course, you know, Scorpio energy, providing the initiatory gateway. Patience, okay? Patience. Patience will reveal the secrets. And this is something to keep in mind. There's something about don't get distracted by what's flashy or what tries to like pull you in quickly. All right. There's no real active force in this, which is really interesting. It's more like the active force is a quickening that happens within, which provides your readiness for the gateway to open. It's more like the gateway opens within you, through you, and then you see it manifest in your material reality. So your blockages are coming internally right now. I mean, they always are, but I think you're going to become very acutely aware of it with the way this energy comes through. You won't be able to catch that though. You'll miss the alignment of that juncture if you're in a position where you feel like you got to take action really quickly, you got to push things along. That's not how it will happen. It's an unfolding process. I'm like seeing this image of like a rose opening from within outwardly, and then its fragrance is shared. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not something that you can like barge your way through. There's more subtlety to this, but there's great power in it. This dawn has to awaken within you before you'll see it outwardly. And so that does mean if you are going through a lot of challenges, if you're facing a lot of difficulties, there has to be this like softening that awakens inside of you. It can't be forced. It's not something that can happen artificially. And that's the challenge of it. That's the test, is the ability to truly like let go on such a deep level where you feel just like a complete giving over of everything that has been resisting this particular challenge that you're facing to get to the other side, right? It's really about moving out of like lack consciousness too, with the Five of Pentacles, and understanding that everything is always at any given moment here for you at any given time. Anything, all of it, anything within the realm of possibility is possible at any given time. And that's the test. So when we kind of are in this place of lacking, we feel like I'm doing without, or everything's been taken from me, or somebody's stolen my destiny, or we're missing the test. 1808 on the clock. That 808 is about being on the right track. This is the beginning of the collective getting on the right track. All right. So this is a new sensory awareness, maybe a sensory awareness you're not used to normally tapping into here. Give me some more details about this, angels, and then we'll pull in some more cards here. Looking with Angel Tarot to open up. All right. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Pentacles. Yes, this is the light of understanding that gives you that ability to take action, to light up the way ahead. Sometimes you have to know which direction to head in. You have to reorient yourself with your path. You know, for some reason, this is evoking to me the image of the hermit. And, you know, you're supposed to have that light source in front of you to guide you forward. And I do got that image, like maybe you lit up a side road there. Maybe it seemed like a shortcut to get where you're supposed to go. And you realize it was a bit of a wrong turn gone right, though. Do you understand? There are really no wrong turns, even when we're suffering the results of our actions, or maybe not the most discerning choice. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It's all part of our path. It's all there to teach us something. So there's the necessity to hold this awareness too. Okay. But I do see that you're preparing to come into a place of understanding where you truly know how to move forward with the heart. You know, that's the piece of the hermit. They have the lantern, but it's held, you know, right in alignment with the heart. If you look at the image in the card, and that's what guides them forward on their path. They're following the path of heart, and it's light. They shine within, without. It's the same thing with this path that's wanting to emerge for you, okay? Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn coming in there, okay? And we see here there's the Two of Cups is in reverse. Two of Cups is in reverse. This is the problem right now. The manifestation isn't coming into being with that 8 energy, that infinity loop energy. This is being out of balance. This is too much desire for power, too much desire for dominion, too much desire for control. This is aiming at a target and yet not releasing the quiver and expecting that the arrow is going to hit the mark. It's an impossibility because there's been no release. This is not mastering the final step of alchemy, of bringing our desires, our dreams, our fulfillment into being, because we don't know how to let go. It's like, it's key. It's key. It's foundational. And this is exhibiting too much control, not letting go, not flowing, rigidity, okay? The fixed energy has been coming in very strongly for a while. And this is finally understanding that, like, oh, okay, you know, I get it. I get it. I get how I've been misusing the power to move forward with the Ace of Wands there. You see? It's like, here, have a little comfrey. Let's open up that road. Get you where you need to go. Yes, look at this. Right behind that, we have the Hierophant. Okay, so there's all that fixed sign energy coming in. Taurus energy coming in really strongly. And on the other side of that, we got Justice. But just for kicks, because we know with that Libra energy at the South Node, you know, we got that Devil's Advocate energy. And right behind Justice, we have the Devil. Okay? So this is a test. This is a test. Can you find the way through? You know, can your heart be lighter than the feather? You know, really think about what that means to have your heart be lighter than a feather. That's a deep level of letting go. It's like completely unobstructed, 100% allowing, you know, no resistance. It's fierce. It's a straightening by fire, and it's yet so subtle. Nobody sees your test. There's nobody giving you accolades for going through these tests. But it's a fierce challenge. There is something here, though, that can bring about the balance, but we will be tested here. And I feel like it is coming through temptation. It's like, everything you ever could have possibly wanted wrapped up in the prettiest bow and with the candy coating, but in order to get it, you gotta just dip back into the cesspool just for a minute. No problem. And in that, Ted says, yes, you'll have your downfall. All right? You'll be back in that penalty box again with the 3 of Swords, kicking yourself. You know, love will crack your heart open one way or another, whether you choose to just open up to it within yourself, just like a chick coming out of that egg, or whether you choose to, you know, get thrashed upon love's shores, you know, thrashed upon the rocks and broken open. We get our choice about how we enter into the temple of love, right? Crossing energy there. Yeah, look at this, 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Like, this is what's crossing. Nobody's wanting to do the work. Nobody's wanting to do the work. They're just wanting to place the order and then just wait to receive it. It doesn't work like that. You know, you got to work in partnership with the divine. You got to work in partnership. You see, that brings that infinity back into balance again. And when we think of that partnership, what we're really looking at is recognizing that the Creator works through us. So if we're all blocked up, you know, and we're not willing to take action, if we're not willing to actually take responsibility for our path in moving forward, if we're not willing to plant the seeds, how do we expect anything to grow? All right. This is really awakening to what is needing to be planted, what is needing to be grown. I'm going to do a cut of the deck here, and we're going to pull out some different cards. 10 of Swords. Yes. Do you see? There's something that you are going to be called to do here in order to obtain the protection of this Ace of Pentacles, this new beginning. You will have to face a challenge to this, okay? A challenger to your Ace of Pentacles. And because this is just the way life works, you know, it works through mirroring to teach us, to educate us about where we're at within. We're going to be given this challenger accordingly. Some of you will face off with a challenger outside of yourself, somebody that you view as the enemy. And some of you are going to find a challenger coming more from the spiritual realm, coming in the form of a spirit ally or a particular riddle that you have to solve. Others of you will experience this challenger coming from an aspect of your own psyche that you convinced yourself is outside of yourself, when actually you're going to recognize, whoa, I'm the generator of that. I'm the creator of that, okay? It's coming through different for everybody. Seven of Swords. And let the games begin, the Norns say. There is a victory on offer, but for now you're the pawn. You know, how do you move yourself into a checkmate position if you're the pawn? All right, so there's something here you're going to have to navigate. It is a test. And it says here, knowledge of good and evil. It's sort of like they're saying, you know what is right and you know what is wrong. Okay. And even there's a little bit of a riddle within that, within right and wrong. All right. There's something about, you know how to get the result that you're looking for here. You also know what is required of you as far as transformation in order to step into how you need to show up for this. In other words, none of it can be artifice. It has to be 100% real, which requires you actually experience the transformation. You know, you can't pretend that you've transformed. It doesn't work like that. 2727, 99, you know, 189, triple nines. This is like the hermit's journey. Big Virgo energy coming in. All right, there's something to really learn here. I also feel this is again echoing that that sort of like archetype of the hermit or of the wizard who goes off alone on their own path. You know, you can only gain these lessons, these medicines, journeying alone. It's not anything that another can give you. It's the times when you have to fall back on yourself that you come to these realizations, and then you find the way through. Look at that. Cancerian energy there with the Chariot. Okay, so there is no holding on to reins. There is no whip. The Chariot comes and it shows us the way by showing us the signs which we interpret, and that allows us to find the way through. Just like in my vision, Freya's chariot brought in the runes that point the way. Though the way to be found, it's found in that like hanged man energy. It's hanging from the Yggdrasil tree. It's waiting at the crossroads until the illumination comes. Oh, the illumination comes how? Through the roots. And when the illumination comes through the roots, like then all things grow. You find you're free. You've been free all along. You weren't hung up anywhere. Okay, so this is all that energy that came through with the runes. So let's check this out, okay? So where are you going? You know, sometimes it can help if you know where you're going to make you feel up to a particular challenge, up to a particular test. Let's see what's on offer here. What's on offer for the collective? If they open up that road within them, if they stop handing over the reins to others or stop trying to hold on to them so tight, and if they let go a little bit, what's on offer here to be transformed for the collective? Ooh. And the light dimmed on this side. You see, right with this Seven of Wands in reverse. This is like, first you really got to get off a particular molehill that you're making into a mountain. That's kind of how it's coming through. You've made a mountain out of a molehill, and there's something here that it's like, give it a rest. That's how they're bringing it through, man. You got to give it a rest, okay? Give it a rest. Why are you fighting for something that's blocked to you? You're missing the point here. Like, why are you resisting fate? You think you can go toe to toe with the Norns? Do you really want to go toe to toe with the Norns? You know, that's when you make your subconscious stuff manifest as fate, and you start thinking somebody's doing something to you, but you're playing tricks on yourself. You start throwing all kinds of, you know, protection work up. You start throwing all kinds of magic around. You start taking all kinds of rash actions, and you're just burdening yourself. You're adding more pressure to yourself. You're weighing yourself down more. You're creating more work for you to do. Yeah, you need one wand here. Isn't this funny? This message came through last week. You need one wand here to open this road. You keep collecting new ones to carry. You're slowing your own roll as far as moving forward here. You know, that Nine of Wands, what is that about? That's like manning a particular post. It's like, no, I'm stubborn. I don't care if I'm not supposed to go this way. I don't care if I'm not supposed to do this. And I don't care what comes at me. I'm just going to stay right here and I'm going to fight for this. But it's that very thing that's keeping you from having the revival. That's preventing you from having the transformation you're seeking. It's that very thing that's preventing your desires to manifest. It's like you've wanted certain things to manifest in your life. You've called certain dreams into being. You've sent up prayers around it. Some of you have done workings around it. Some of you have really been hustling to make it happen. And yet there's a part of you that like is trying to defend a particular post that's actually the very thing that's like blocking your road. It's the tower. It's the tower that needs to fall, and you keep like propping it up. You know, you got scaffolding up. You're trying to shore up the support, anything you can do to keep it from falling. And this is the thing that's preventing you from moving forward. This is also this piece about be careful about throwing stuff around right now, especially when the Norns are weaving fates into being, because, you know, they could be weaving just the beautiful fate for you. And then through your own actions, you end up tripping up something that's supposed to turn out into this beautiful destiny. At least on one stretch of the ride, right? I mean, because you're never going to end up in your happily ever after. It just doesn't work like that. There's always going to be challenges in life. But this is a real, like, something to celebrate here, you know? You'll really feel a sense of transformation in your life. You'll definitely feel like you've risen to a particular challenge, and there's something really beautiful here that's getting activated. But you keep, like, defending a post, and in doing so, you're actually, you're screwing up. You're screwing up the fate. You're screwing up the fate that's being woven for you, you know, because you want to have too much control. What's behind this magician here? Yeah, look at this. We got the Empress. Look at this energy here. Yeah, now you're getting the picture, right? This is the rising up out of the South Node energy. You know, then you'll move forward real swiftly. Do you see that? Real swiftly, you'll rise up. And there you go. You'll have that thing you've been hoping for. You're going to have that Ace of Pentacles. You know, you're going to have that beautiful new beginning. You're going to have that luck you were hoping for, which is also something that Calm Free is associated with. It is associated with luck, good fortune, blessings, financial growth. You know, that heirloom energy was, you know, exemplified with Athala that came in there, that rune. So there is this piece too, this legacy energy, the growth of the seeds you're planting, the harvest to come, you know, the blessings that are the result of it. You know, this is the opportunity to move on up into that North Node energy with the King of Wands coming in with the Page of Cups and with the 7 energy here with the Chariot, okay? There's this piece here about knowing how to go with the flow here with the fish in the cup is what I'm getting it as at this time around. Isn't this interesting with the little lizard down there? Okay. Know how to go with the flow in dream time too. You have to remember that as we're moving through this particular passage here, we're imagining things into being. So worry is another form of imagination. If you're worrying and you're not doing anything to harness that energy and get yourself clear and get yourself centered, then you're going to find yourself in some pretty, unfamiliar territory. You're going to find yourself in some very, confusing waters. You're not going to be sure about how you should direct your action, right? This is about getting beyond the glamour and instead being the one who actually weaves the glamour you want to create in your reality on your path. It's really viewing your life as a canvas where you can dream whatever you want into being. But the way that we bring that into being is by already being there. It's like taking this trip inwardly in that chariot forward. So it's like you're here in the present, but you're living out your future self as if you've already stepped into this reality. And this is where a lot of people get it screwed up because they hold on too tightly. So they chain that particular reality, that feeling they want to step into, that embodiment they want to step into with a particular job or with a particular person or with a particular set of circumstances that bring in other people's free will into the mix. And this is how things get convoluted and confusing and why things misfire and why your manifestations come into being in such a way that there's always like some caveat, right? It's always a little bit complicated. It's never simple. Why can't it ever just be simple? Well, it can if we get out of our own way. This is the memo that wants to come in around this, okay? And I love it because right behind that, what do we got? We got the Hermit here. It's like, yes, I'll teach you how to move into that expansion of that Sagittarian energy. This is a new kind of soul communication with Jupiter and Gemini. Jupiter and Gemini, that's all about those lucky breaks that come through the communication. It's all about synchronicity. Gemini rules over the house of communication. And the Gemini energy also talks about that alignment, coming into alignment with the path, coming into alignment with our purpose, coming into alignment with where we're supposed to be, retrieving, the stuff that we're meant to invest in. That's the stuff of our archaic records, our Akashic records, and actually investing our energy in that, bringing to close old cycles willfully, willfully, easily. No resistance, because we know it opens the road and it allows the fulfillment to come in. This energy here, the 5 of Swords, where we think we have to steal something away from another, where we have to get into this place of combativeness, fighting for something. The ego-driven qualities are what lead to the destabilization. It's what leads to the pain of the 10 of Swords. 5 and 5, 10, it doesn't have to be like that. Not when you temper it. Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups. This is tempering the energy, Sagittarian energy, coming in very strongly, working with the Jupiter energy. Jupiter is a planet that rules over Pisces and also rules over Sagittarius. That's how you tap into the flow. You got to understand how to work with the Jupiterian energy. It's not just fire. If you want to tap into the luck and tap into the synchronicities, tap into that flow of abundance and activation and transformation, that ultimate alchemy of temperance, which is all about the self-mastery. You have to use fire and water in tandem. Remember, it's like that cauldron of Dagda. It's, yes, the fire activates, it gets things cooking. But look at the cups energy, all contained, closed. That doesn't work. Not with an energy like the cauldron of Dagda. The cauldron of Dagda provides an inexhaustible flow of abundance that nurtures everybody. It's always replenished. It's the same thing with like that Ace of Cups, like that Holy Grail, that beautiful overflowing love that just continues to flow. Nobody has, a cornerstone on it. It's something for all. And anytime we get into a place where we try to hoard it, then we block the way. Nothing can get cooking here, it'll all spill over, if we try to contain it just for ourselves with all that heat under it, you got to open it up. You got to let it breathe, especially if you're going to allow it to nurture anybody. And the irony of this is even yourself, it can't even nurture you if you don't have your cup open. It's like moving out of the fixed position, looking at things in a more collective way. And understanding if you're coming up against blockage after blockage after blockage after blockage, moving in a certain direction, at some point you have to just release and say, okay, show me the way. Show me the way. And so I feel like this is the test. We're being asked to say, okay, show me the way. Show me the way. Move me out of my fixed position. Show me the way that I'm blocking this, that I'm blocking this alignment, that I'm blocking the transformation point. When I rise up out of this challenge of the past, I got my freedom from the crossroads and I move forward into alignment with my true path. Show me the way. And you're going to be presented with that way. You're going to be shown, but you might be resisting what you're shown. And yet there's this piece coming through about total allowing to open the road. Yeah. Look at that. Eight of Swords, King of Cups. Do you see? Wow. You can't receive. You can't receive when you won't relinquish control. Look at that, man. Look at this, what's separating. Do you see here? Oh, wow. And we have the Queen of Pentacles come in, and on the other side here, I have to say, is also the King of Pentacles. And the Three of Wands. Wow. And right after that, we got the Ace of Cups. Wow. You see what I'm saying? 43:11 on the clock, 7:11. This is what wants to come in, your true path of fulfillment. But some of you are so stubborn, that you won't cut the cord. You won't cut the cord. And because you won't cut the cord, you're blocking your own alignment. You're keeping your road closed. So if you're hoping to come into this fulfillment here, all right, you're going to have to do the work. And then that's what will rise you up into this Emperor energy. We got Emperor to Empress here. Judgment. You see what I'm saying? This balances out the crossroads. Look at the crossroads on that flag there that Gabriel's blowing the horn for. It's like, wake up, people. Rise and shine. You got to do this work. If you're going to open up this road, it's not going to be handed to you. And you are going to be presented with a test. And it's up to you. Do you want to keep getting breadcrumbs here? You're breadcrumbing yourself. It's no narc. You're breadcrumbing yourself because you refuse to move away from what's causing you nothing but suffering because of your stubbornness. It's all because of your stubbornness when you could move forward so quickly there with the Knight of Wands. If you just balance this out, man. If you balance it out, but the water is meant to be shared. So you can look at that many different ways. The emotion is meant to be shared. The creativity is meant to be shared. The vision is meant to be shared. If you're in this hoarding energy, this controlling energy, there's no flow. You're blocking your own flow. You're blocking the way forward, man. So this is a test. And again, I feel like that cross there is making me think of crossroads, I have to tell you. It's making me think of the crossroads. The crossroads is going to open up within you. Yep. You got to find the lay of the land within you here. You're going to know what I'm talking about. You are, once you come up against this, because it's going to activate you. It's going to activate you. And there's something that you have to master internally here in order to open up this road. The more that you move in the right direction, the more that you're going to see that all the signs start showing up on your path. The more you're going to notice instant manifestation. The more you're going to notice just like turns of fortune, okay? So every time you start feeling blocked, it's about really looking at, how am I blocking myself? What am I doing here that is trying to exhibit too much control and not enough allowing? 3 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck energy. There's that horse energy again too, okay? Yeah, so this is something about, you know, doing the work that will move you forward. And this is something about recognizing the favor that even those who have played the role of your foe, your enemy, look at the favor they've given you. They've highlighted something to you. They've highlighted something that for you is a tripping point. And this allows you to master that, to overcome it. So actually, they may have bested you. You may see it that way, but they have bested you so that you can pull out the best from yourself. This is about rising above the challenges in this way. If you do this, all those things that have challenged you in the past and are presently challenging you will be overcome. You'll have all the answers you need. You'll know exactly what you need to do simply by looking at the challengers on your path through a little bit different of a lens here, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get a little occult tarot here just to get some further guidance about this coming in for the collective this week. I knew that there was like some kind of big transformation coming in because the other night I had a dream, another lucid dream of a snake, a really big snake, like huge, ginormous snake, mythical proportions snake. And there were many people around this snake that were very terrified of it. And I was kind of chilling with the snake, hanging out with it. And it's something about this, it's like the fear of the transformation. The fear of the transformation required to have what you desire. You keep thinking that you can find shortcuts, and you can't. You're just tripping yourself up, and you're holding yourself up. You have to be able to really move through the fear in order to get this transformation you want. And yeah, it means shedding old skins. And it means, you know, moving some of that which has poisoned you out of your system, and detoxing in that way can be an uncomfortable process, you know. You don't come out the other side the same. It's allowing your illusions to fall away as you shed the scales from your eyes and see things as they are. This isn't a comfortable process, but there is something that needs to come in here. There is something that needs to come through you, and you're blocking the way by holding on to an old form. 9 of Wands. It's that same energy coming through. You need to drop 8 of these wands. This makes me think, when I think of 8 wands, okay, I think of the movement piece, right? I think of moving things forward. But it also makes me think of workings. So if you're somebody who's like throwing around a lot of manifestation work right now, however you're doing that, okay, but you're not actually like following through with taking some kind of action, and you haven't released the vision and moved instead into actually like just doing the work, because that's how you manifest things. Yes, you have the vision, but then you release the vision by actually setting it in motion with the work. So if you're doing like a lot of manifestation work, like you keep doing different like workings, or, you know, if you're actively throwing around a lot of magic just for those that work on that level, you're really blocking the way. You're making more obstacles, more tests for yourself, I have to say. You're putting stuff in the way that you don't need to, okay? It's like, I mean, and even that, you know, there's a purpose to that, though it might not be what you realize. You might be training yourself for resilience, you know? Maybe what you desire requires that you have a lot of resilience. And so you keep having this compulsion to like throw around workings, which only send the energy back in your direction because it mirrors to you, your energy. That's how manifestation works. Like all of this is just a big mirror, everything you see in reality. So if you're dealing with a lot of like heavy energy coming at you, it's because that's what you're like throwing out there. So you're just seeing it. You're seeing it in your reality around you rather than shifting this, okay? And some of you do it to yourselves on purpose. You don't realize it. You know, you made an agreement to come into this life and do this to yourself, put yourself through one challenge after another because you didn't want to just have, you know, a little peek beyond the veil. Like you wanted to pull that curtain of Oz all the way back. You know, you want to see how all the magic happens. You really want to step into that. And that requires a lot of testing, a lot of tempering here, right? You've been, you know, throwing yourself one montage after another. And sort of like this piece here coming in, like, are you ready to like step into it though? I mean, how long are you gonna train to step into it? Don't you think you got the chops for it yet? That's sort of the way the message is coming through. It's kind of funny, you know? Just step into it already. Just do what you need to do. You know what you need to do? Yeah. Oh, yeah, look. Isn't that wild? You got death in reverse here. It's like, nah, I'm just going to hang out here and dance with the devil for a while. Yeah, there's something that really needs to be turned around here. 3 of Wands to the 8 of Wands to Temperance to the Star. Okay. Yeah, you know, this is somebody, you know, maybe throwing around, you know, the energy of too many flying monkeys instead of doing the work they need to do themselves. You know, stop trying to get other people to do, you know, your work for you by manipulating them, you know, talking them into taking care of stuff that you know you need to do. You know, ante up, man. It's really important here. There is something that wants to open up for your future. But there's a little bit too much of a desire to do things in a manipulative way that's really blocking the way from stepping into what's already aligned for you. You're the only one holding yourself up, all right? You're the only one who's holding yourself up here, all right? Yes, yes, you know. I do feel like, you know, you are coming into contact with people who sort of work the path in different ways than you do, and it's sort of illuminating something to you. That maybe there's a different way to go about creating change, and you're like, let me do a cut of the deck here and see what we got. Knight of Wands in reverse, Ace of Swords in reverse. Yeah. You know, you can't move forward in manipulative ways. That'll always misfire. You know, there's something here about being true to the path. And that's the Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay, the opportunities spilled out. And turn that energy around, right? All right, all of these cards are in reverse here. Let's see. Isn't that interesting? Just the devil energy with the death. Well, Lucifer. Okay. And on the other side, the 2 of Cups there. See, there's something that needs to be digested. I thought the whole deck was in reverse. It wasn't. It was just Lucifer here was in reverse. You know, Lucifer shining the light of illumination, you know, on the ways that you deceive yourself, on the ways that you make yourself a scapegoat in your storyline. That's kind of how it's coming through here, okay? Yeah, and there's no need for the flying monkeys or to have other people do your dirty work or, you know, to have to manipulate something into being. I mean, if you're manipulating things into being, you've already kind of like lost the plot because you're not trusting the flow of your life. And that doesn't mean that you should never go for a goal, but we all know when we're moving in a direction where it's like, this isn't getting me anywhere. You know, this isn't working. This doesn't make anything positive happen. I mean, at some point you got to go, okay, well, show me the way. And then trust the inspirations that start to come through that. I'm going to go ahead and just get some of these cards here just to see what inspirations might come through. Like, look, this is what's wanting to come in here, the opening of the road, the dawning of a new day with two, sky, sunrise, okay? This is like not staying there all closed up, holding their swords, guarding everything, hoarding everything. There's something that's been coming in a lot lately about this desire to hoard, to be selfish, to not be in a place of sharing that is really like needing to shift. Pretty wild. There were two ravens that just came down, swoop, heading to the west there. West is the home of ravens. So yeah, and west is associated with the water. You know, it's connected to that energy of the cups, you know, the cups are meant to be shared. This message is really coming through. So we have to look at ways that we're maybe only thinking of our needs and situations. Yes, Queen of Sky. That's what brings about the unity here. This is always the biggest challenge, right? Especially when people are on a path of alchemy. Yeah, I was just going to say, where they use it for earthly matters, right? Everybody works with alchemy in a different way. When I was like a teenager and I was exploring alchemy, yeah, I thought about the goodies, the things I want, and material reality, you know? But I don't really use it for that. I mean, every now and then it's like, yeah, let's tap into a little good luck. Let's tap into a little financial prosperity or something, you know? We've all done that, you know, but in general, I use it for transforming different aspects of myself, you know? It's when you transcend, you know, using it for like um, personal earthly desires that you really get everything you could ever want in earthly desires. That's the irony of it. It's like there's something about hoarding the energy at this time is what needs to be transformed, is the need to move out of this space of like the survival instinct that makes you feel like, well, I got to have this, it has to look like this, or if it doesn't manifest like this, or if I don't end up with this person, or if I don't get this job, or if I don't have so much money, you know, all of these things they're trappings that actually prevent you from having all the fulfillment you want. You've actually pigeonholed yourself and you put yourself in such a narrow lane that, you know, you can't even fit through because of all the greed. You know, you've made your energy too big, stored up, hoarded with everything you want for yourself. You know, there's something here. You need to like let the energy release so that the new world can come into being. You have to give over to this wake-up call, ride the tidal wave of change, and whatever this test is that's coming in here, it is meant to wake you up. And you get a choice, right? But I feel like what gets rooted here, it's rooted in material reality. It is a source of fulfillment for you. Or it can be the fulfillment of fate if you want to just keep sort of spinning out in fate over and over again. But this is about actually, you know, that one note. It's tapping into ecstasis, that one note of creation that brings everything together. Do look to hear some news, okay? This is coming in the form of news. News is going to bring your test. News is going to bring your opportunity to choose how you're going to show up this round, and whether you pull a rabbit out of that hat and some kind of beautiful heirloom energy, or whether you go for another round in the spin cycle of karma here, right? And I don't know. It's up to you. I think most of you are going to choose to go with the flow and let the manifestation come in. You're ready for your off into the sunset moment. And I think that's the best way to go here, collective. But beyond notice, the test is coming soon.